Rebecca Lauren, and we're here to study some music theory. Um, yeah, welcome to the stream, everybody. Today we're going to be working on uh, my next YouTube video for my new channel, Horizontal Theory. So if you're watching the VOD, bear with me. I will be taking my time to make the video. I can't do it all in one run just yet. I don't have to um, because of editing. I do try to keep things moving along the best I can, but obviously I do enjoy interacting with my chat, and so obviously that can all be edited out. Um, I do try to keep things as if I'm running like a college class or something sometimes, because it is a very good skill to have. I would, in the real world, outside of the internet. But also even in the real world on the internet, doing webinars and stuff, it's really important to be able to do stuff live. I feel like streaming is a really important tool to have because it's a strong incentive to always remember that there's a live audience, even when there's nobody here. Um, because I really do think that, obviously streaming, your stream is what you make it. And so if all of you do is just sit around and just play video games, that's what it is. But if you treat your stream as if you're running a class or if you're running a live show, which is what it is, then I feel like it's a really strong tool for you. For me especially, because it's not, I don't get any opportunities in the real world to do stuff like this. Usually only people such as teachers or business meetings, like business managers and stuff like that, who run online meetings and stuff like that. Usually only those type of people get those kind of opportunities in the real world. And so obviously with my stream, I have 100% control. I can do what I want, within terms of service. And, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I can do to practice real life skills. And so I'm going to be working on my next, on my next video, which is about time signatures. And so, I'm going to try to record that the best I can. What's up, YouTube? What is this, a fraction? Yeah, Supreme Mario Row 65. Yes. What are all these numbers? Am I supposed to divide them? So you may be wondering what's on the left of any kind of piece of sheet music. Well, that's called a time signature. And no, it's not a fraction. You don't need to divide anything. Put your calculators away. Many times I have people come to me and they say, I don't really understand how to read music. I'm just going to think that it's 4/4 or 3/4, and anything else I'm just really confused about. I'm just going to do my best to do what my band director has told me to do. And of course, with a teacher, you can learn these pretty easily, which is why I'm here to help you if you're self-taught, or if you're having trouble and you need some supplementary material. Okay. So let's head on over to our workstation. Uh-oh. Why is magnifier doing that? Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I need to turn that off. Jeez. How do I turn that off for magnifier? What? How do I turn these off? How do I turn that off? See, this we got to a snag already, okay? Oh, and you know what I need to do again? I need to freaking... Every single time I need to restart this service. It's kind of ridiculous. I thought I solved it on my previous computer. But I guess not. Hey yo, what song will you subscribe? We're doing Slide. Because we already finished the Super Mario 64 main theme. And so today we're going to be working. I'm working on my YouTube video first. And then oh yeah, I need to restart the Wacom. Just a second. And so today we're going to be doing Slide. It's not easy. Ending. And then it goes back to capo. So like dun 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 dun. So this one compared to the main theme, because I'm going to be arranging all of these. So right, we did main theme before. And so in this one, I actually, in main theme, I only needed to transcribe really the melody. So the main theme was actually pretty easy, although I'm out of practice with transcription, so it took me a bit. It's pretty simple. It seems like the Super Mario 64, this might be a pattern in the soundtrack. It uses an ABC structure. I was able to finish this first transcription in probably 3 years since I was in college. So bear with me while I get back to get back to having better handwriting. And also I'm used to using real paper and pen for my manuscripts. And so it's been quite a while, and it took me way longer than it should have. It took me a few days. Plus, I was kind of emotionally tilted for the first 2 days for other reasons. But the main theme, I didn't really need to transcribe the backgrounds because I'm going to be arranging it, and I'm just going to do my own backgrounds. And it's going to be based on it, but I didn't really feel like I needed to transcribe them. But this one has multiple parts going on at once, so we're going to have to transcribe each of the parts, and it seems like there's three main parts that are independent of each other. We don't obviously don't need to transcribe the percussion or anything like that, or any like specific hits I can probably indicate on the sheet music. There's an ABC section. There is a main melody, a second a like second melody, and a harmony. And so the four main parts, and then there's a bass line. So it's like four main parts. I guess I can just do, in this I can just make the score into four parts. So I'm gonna do the melody here, and then yeah, we're gonna have melody here, and then the harmony, and then we're gonna have a bass line here, but I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, so how about we do melody 1, melody 2, harmony, and bass, and yeah, possibly that might work. That's a score though. I don't really want to make a score. So how about we just use grand staff like usual? I really think it's better if I just use grand staff. It's more consistent for transcription, and also like for drafts for in my experience, it's just better to have a grand staff. And you can worry about, I'm not trying to make sheet music. I'm trying to make transcriptions. Well, because we're not going to be transcribing chords so much, but this one does have a harmony, so we will be transcribing individual voices. I try to use as much as I can. I try to use I try to only use chord symbols after the fact, because I need to analyze the chord structure, because transcription, you need to be able to hear the music first, and then understand the voicing, and then you can go back and analyze. And so that's my process. Is usually I get down the melody first, the main melody, and then I'm going to get the second melody. So as an intro, and then an A section. And so it's like there's a main da 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 da, and then da 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 da. Yeah, so there's two main. So that there's a whistle. There's like a, what is that? Like a violin, and a whistle, and a bass. I usually start with the melody because the bass. So we're going to start with the violin, and then we have the whistle and the bass. But I'm going to do separate. I mean, I guess I could do a full score, but we can separate into one. So this is going to be violin, whistle, and bass. There we go. Now we have it. Now we have it. And it's a full score. We're just gonna do a full score. I really do have infinite pages, so. Is it in the key of D? I mean, that's kind of what I'm working on. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting started. I was working on a YouTube video first though. So, I'm gonna get back to that, so be patient. Let me hide my desktop icons. Okay. Okay, let me put a marker. Yeah, plus, I would appreciate it if you don't backseat game. Thank you. Because the whole point of this is not to just get the music. The whole point of it is so that I actually work on it. All right? So I appreciate it if you don't backseat game. Okay. So believe it or not, this is a valid time signature. Fuck, magnifier is like not good. I need to figure that magnifier out later. Now 9,000, okay. Now 9,999 may seem like a ridiculous time signature, and it is. But I'm trying to convey the concept. The way time signatures work is that you have it, most people will think that time signatures are a fraction. So a lot of beginner musicians will see this time signature and think that it means that it's in 3/4. But really, what this means is that you have 6 beats per measure, and the 8th note gets the beat. So if you have a song in 6/8, what does this mean exactly? As we talked in our previous video, by the way, I haven't made that video yet. As we talked about in our previous video, I'm going to minimize chat for a second. So you can say whatever you want. By the way, I said no backseat gaming, but while I'm doing my videos, you can say whatever you want and I can look at, and it's actually useful. So you can say whatever you want with chat. Don't worry. I know I'm trying to figure out my format for these streams. And so, you know, it's really, I think it's like kind of ridiculous to end all discussion just because like, I don't want to get distracted. I'm going to try to avoid looking at chat. You guys can talk about whatever you want. Especially while I'm doing the YouTube video section. But you know, try not to tell me what to do while I'm doing the transcription. I kind of do it in my own way, and I'm mostly doing this for myself, and so I do enjoy interacting with chat. But while I'm actively working on the transcription, I'm trying not to get outside information. Like the whole point is that I'm doing it on my own, and obviously I could do it off stream, but like. I don't think that's really useful. So normally, when we most people are introduced to music, and they learn basic time signatures. So they learn 4/4, or they learn 3/4, and variations of that, such as 2/4, and possibly 5/4. Then you get to compound meters, such as 6/8, 9/8, 12/8, and then you have odd time signatures, such as 7/8, or 11/8, or 15/8. And of course, you can have any number on the top, because what a time signature tells you, if we look at 6/8 here, if we look at 4/4, what does this mean exactly? Well, as we said in my previous video, there's different denominations of beats. So we usually use 4/4 as a way of kind of indicating that certain notes have certain length. And so we have a whole note, which a whole note is our baseline for a 4/4, specifically for the bottom number, because this note is not, it is a whole note in 4/4, because the quarter note is what gets the beat. And so we have a whole note, we have a half note, we have a quarter note, we have an eighth note, and we have 16ths. You can go even further. The 32nd note, 64th note, 128th, 256 even, 512, etc., etc. You know, you're always doubling it. So, you know, 1 1, 1 2, 1 4, 1 8. Basically, we just say whole note, half note, quarter note, and eighth note, 16th note, and anything other than these, I don't think are particularly useful. You could always just change the tempo, and I don't, you know, remember that sheet music and music theory in general is here to serve you. That's the basis of this series, is that music theory doesn't exist in an isolated box just so that you can use it to impress your friends. Music theory exists so that you can use the tools necessary to understand any given piece of music. And so when we write something in 4/4, that means the quarter note equals 1 beat. Equals 1 beat. And a beat, as we've talked in another video, is basically the metronome. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. So if we have 4 beats per measure, so the top number is how many beats per measure. And a measure is just a visual tool so that you can understand and delineate a piece of music into bite-sized chunks so that you can read them and understand them so that you can play them, hopefully from memory. So if a quarter note gets the beat and there's 4 beats per measure, that means that we put 4 quarter notes per measure. And of course, that means that since quarter note is the 1, that means that this is 1 beat. So then you have a half note is equal to 2 quarter notes. Tied together. And we will get into articulation and other symbols later, but this is called a tie. Not something that you wear to a concert, but it means that you basically combine two notes together on the same pitch to equal another note, a certain length. And you can use any kind of denominations. So a half note tied to a quarter note is equal to 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3 beats in 4/4. Because remember, this set of notes only has meaning because our time signature gives it meaning. And so also you could use another symbol here, and we're going to get into this another time. But if we make a half note with a dot here, this is called a dotted half note. And what a dotted note is exactly the same one that we showed earlier. It's a half note plus a quarter note, plus half of that note, more specifically. So if we have a dotted quarter note, that is equal to a quarter note plus an eighth note. Which is equal to 1 plus, interestingly enough, 1/2, even though it's called an eighth note. We use a whole note as our baseline, as a one whole number in 4/4. But if we're going to separate it all, kind of the way we kind of think of notes in general is we think of 4/4, or we just think of 4 as like a quarter note. You know, the reason we have the names in the first place is because it's a quarter of 1. So I guess 1/8 of 1. but it's 1/2 of a beat in 4/4, if that makes any sense. So in 4/4, this is one beat. And then 1/2 a beat. But it's a quarter note plus an 1/8 note. I know it can be confusing sometimes, but we're talking about beats here. So there's 4 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. And we have a quarter note plus an 1/8 note. Then that's 1 beat and 1/2 a beat. So we can think of this visually as 2 1/8 notes is equal to 1 beat. Which is equal to a quarter note. This is so cool. I'm glad you like it, Bugle Boy. Yeah, I'm really trying to gather my thoughts a lot. This is the first time I've ever done like a YouTube series like this that's educational. I'm not really used to teaching people music. I've taught people chess. I've not really taught anyone music. I've learned a lot of music and I've worked with a lot of teachers. I'm more of a student than a teacher most of the time. And so this is kind of a new thing for me. And honestly, I'm not going to like try to make it perfect. This is a YouTube series that I'm making that I'm going to be trying to do my best to keep focus. But in the end of the day, I am streaming right now. So I literally have all the time in the world, for the most part. And what I'm going to be trying to do is basically trying to organize my thoughts. Obviously, I can get it all in editing to make it a little bit more coherent. But basically, I'm kind of all over the place, and that's kind of the way I think. So it's really hard for me to teach people in a live situation. I know this is really all over the place, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I need to have more confidence in myself. But this is really all over the place right now. I'm really trying to gather it. And obviously I could always remake this series later when I finished it. You know, this is basically a rough draft. And by the way, you asked earlier what program I'm using. This is Paint Tool Sci version 2. It's a pretty bare bones program. I didn't want to use full Photoshop or anything because this is a very basic program. And I found a background. I basically just found a background of sheet music, and I made a canvas size that's small enough so that if I make enough stuff, it's a low enough resolution that it won't make a giant, like 100 megabyte plus file just for making like a few notes on a page, So basically I want to make as small as file size as possible while also being able to show a lot of information. And I do this for handwriting, and I do this for anything that involves handwriting. I use personally. Most people will use like something like Muse Score, or they'll use Finale or Sibelius. I think that's it's really, those programs are amazing for producing high quality production value sheet music. However, for my purposes, I'm trying to teach music and also transcribe music, use it as a tool to sketch as if I was, and I do feel like handwriting is very important for that. It's a lot more useful in my opinion. And my teacher, Mr. Bennett Friedman, known throughout the San Francisco Bay Area and California, really. He has worked with many musicians throughout California. He's been my jazz studies teacher, and I have multiple other teachers. But he basically really stressed how important handwriting is. He is from an older generation, but at the same time, if it doesn't, why if it works, why change it up? Obviously I can adapt things for my needs, but I feel like a lot of people who who try to teach music, they make it too clean. And the thing is learning is not clean. Learning, you got to get in, you got to get dirty, okay? And there's a lot more customization that you can do with handwriting. I feel like it's a lot better to teach things and learn things with handwriting, especially when it comes to things like music or math, because you can just completely customize your environment. You can you can draw arrows really quickly, circle things, etc. And obviously you can use any kind of paint program you want. This is just the one that I use, that I've learned how to use as a really useful environment. I may be like mostly done with the video, but I'm just trying to explain something. I'm trying to gather my thoughts kind of ad hoc as I go. So I was explaining quarter notes. They're only quarter, okay. So what happens if we have a time signature like 3/4? Well, that means that the measure will only have 3 quarter notes. Which is equal to a half note Thanks for the follow, Heartblood. I'm just working on a YouTube video really quick, so I'll get back to chat in a second. Or a dotted half note, which we remember from earlier that a dotted half note would equal a half note plus a quarter note. And we tie them together to make sure that we understand that this is a note plus another note. You don't strike this note twice. You don't play the note twice. All you do is you play the half note plus the quarter note. It equals to a dotted half note, which is also equal to 3 quarter notes. You can go even crazier and make it into a quarter note plus an eighth note plus 2 16th notes and this is all the same exact length. I need to get my piano ready here. I also need to eat something really quick. I'm getting low blood sugar. I'm diabetic. What? Where's my... what? Oh, there it is. Okay. So if we go 1, I need a metronome here, 2. For simplicity's sake, we're going to set the metronome to 60 beats per minute. And remember, beats are malleable. So we have 3 beats per measure here. That means that this is still 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Why is that so big? Why is there such a big difference between the size there? Why? Why would they do this? Why would they make it that big? Okay. Oh, I can just press spacebar. Okay, I need to get something to eat really quick. And then we're gonna continue. Please eat something. Yeah, yeah, thanks, Bugle Boy. Interesting thoughts on handwriting. Yeah, I do. Keep your knots. I hate to break it to you, Bugle Boy, but I don't have my nuts anymore. I already had an orchiectomy. And also, you don't tell me what to do with my body. I know what I need for my transition, gender-affirming care. I don't know if that's what you mean when you said keep your knots. No stress. Yeah, Tippy, thank you so much. I really do. Yeah, it is basically math. Music is basically math. But it's horizontal math, and that's why the name of the series is Horizontal Theory, which God damn it, I dropped my keyboard on my keyboard. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, sorry. It's like when you said knots, I almost thought you said keep your nuts, which, you know, I do have people come into my chat who are trying to tell me what I can do with my body, trying to control my body. Jesus Christ. I do have a new YouTube channel that I'm making called Horizontal Theory, and while I'm making that food, I'm gonna just play that video. Yeah, so I plan on making this to an actual series, but now I have to do the actual work. Anyway, I'll be right back. What's up, YouTube? I'm Rebecca Lauren, and I've been a musician probably as long as I can even remember. I started with recorder and choir about when I was in first grade or so, and I had a musical journey that has lasted until this day. But you don't need my credentials. You're here because you have probably wanted to learn an instrument, you wanted to learn a song, you've wanted to be able to play music, possibly even all your life. But then you start learning it and you get frustrated. You don't understand all the stuff that you need to learn. You don't understand how to play the notes properly. You don't even know how to read music. And you also feel a bit mad, possibly. You shouldn't have to learn all this music theory just to play a flute or a saxophone or a piano or a guitar or anything like that. Well, I'm here to tell you right now that music theory is only here to serve you. I'm going to attempt to teach you what you need to know so that you can literally learn any piece of music on any instrument. So I hope with this channel, you can dive into the wonderful world of music and learn how to just have fun. What's up, YouTube? I'm Rebecca Lauren, and I've been a musician probably as long as I can even remember. I started with recorder and choir about when I was in first grade or so, and I had a musical journey that has lasted until this day. But you don't need my credentials. You're here because you have probably wanted to learn an instrument, you wanted to learn a song, you've wanted to be able to play music, possibly even all your life. But then you start learning it and you get frustrated. You don't understand all the stuff that you need to learn. You don't understand how to play the notes properly. You don't even know how to read music. And you also feel a bit mad, possibly. You shouldn't have to learn all this music theory just to play a flute or a saxophone or a piano or a guitar or anything like that. Well, I'm here to tell you right now that music theory is only here to serve you. I'm going to attempt to teach you what you need to know so that you can literally learn any piece of music on any instrument. So I hope with this channel you can dive into the wonderful world of music and learn how to just have fun. What's up, YouTube? I'm Rebecca. I really am looking forward to seeing how this series ends up. Uh, and it's forcing me to be like a lot more deliberate with my streams. And also I record stuff off stream. Sometimes I just don't want to start stream because it is kind of distracting sometimes to know that I'm live. It is a thing. When you go live, there is a thing that happens in your brain when you see the light in your face and you know the camera's on. But even then, it's different than when you're recording. When I'm recording, there's a completely different mindset I have. It's weird. And maybe, obviously my goal is to get so used to it that it doesn't really have any difference. Like, obviously my goal is to get better and better and better at being able to do this. But whenever I just record, I feel like the clock's ticking because I don't want to use up all my disk space. And obviously I have a lot of space. I could even get a third hard drive. Like, I have an internal hard drive that I pretty much filled up with games because I need games to, like, sometimes I need to stream or just game on my own as a way to just unwind and distract. And my computer can handle it now because I got a gaming PC. But also, I have an external hard drive with like a ton of space, and I could even clear up some space. But I could, I don't really want to because it's a huge backup um, of like important like clips from the first year or from the first 2 years of my stream that are gone now. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Heartblood. Yeah, cool. Like, obviously it's just an intro. So it's not like obviously I have a lot of work to do, and we're starting to do that now, and I'm starting to notice how difficult it is. But you can't just wait until you're ready. You gotta dive right in, and I gotta try it. And obviously I can remake the series later with more concision, I can make the series later and make it more concise. This is the practice run. And honestly, even then, like, people usually enjoy the process of somebody figuring out how to do a YouTube series, and people usually cheer you on, the people who matter. Oh God, I'm spilling my yogurt all over the place. Yeah, and I really have to apologize. I'm so used to doing my streams really off the cuff, improvised entirely. Because it's a lot easier for me to just kind of go like, um, it's a lot easier for me to just kind of make things up as I go. It's kind of why I got into jazz in the first place. And honestly, more than anything, you really do want to use ear. But the importance of theory is so that you can save yourself time. I've had music theory education in college from 2015 until 2018. I definitely have not forgotten it because I've been a musician my whole entire life. I'm not trying to be like, like tooting my own horn. It's, but it's such a cool effect when I do this. I had some toast and then I had that goat milk yogurt, drink like kefir. And then I'm having some eggs with some, I think this is Swiss chard or spinach. I'm not really sure. I think it's Swiss chard. Although it really tastes like spinach. No, pretty sure it's chard. It's got the more bitterness. Mm. Mm. Ah! I hate it when things fall. So much. Oh, you're a music education major? That's awesome. I was going to do that, but then a whole bunch of things prevented me from doing that. And I'm also autistic. It's really hard for me to actually. I burned out of college. And I burned out of college. It was really hard. I worked really hard for 3 years, from 2015 until 2018. I worked myself up to being able to be in the practice room with deliberate practice from at least 1 hour a day and like a maximum of 3 hours a day. And when I really freaking like was crazy, I went 4 hours a day. Between with breaks. And sometimes 20-minute sessions at a time. Like I really got good at that. Because I was there from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m., 5 days a week, sometimes even on Saturday. I basically lived in the music building and it was awesome. Actually, like I made a lot of friends. They weren't really my friends, they were my colleagues, my peers, as you call them. But I've always been a performer. That's why I started streaming. It's why I've always been a performer, but I've been told by my whole life, by all my teachers, oh, you can't make a living off of music. You should use that, keep that as a hobby, and it's like, I'm really like, okay, well, you have a job with music. Literally everybody in this freaking, like there's people who make like millions of dollars on music. I mean, obviously it's not like that easy, just like with streaming or YouTubing. It's not easy. But like the whole thing is like I got so discouraged by so many people throughout my whole entire life, even into college, to actually pursue music, and I did it anyway. Um, but then I had music teachers who were like, "This is the plan," because people will say you'll have family members that'll come in and they'll say, "Oh, you should have. It's great that you love music, but you should have a backup plan. Music is the plan." Okay, there's so many things you can do with music too. There's so many different degrees. There's music education. There's music performance. There's music therapy. If you want to minor in music, or even major in music therapy, and and you want to get a psychology degree, you could be a music therapist using music as a tool to help heal people. And there's also people who do like editing, mixing, like music production. There's also like music librarians or whatever they call it, where you literally like score music and stuff. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff involving music. There's a whole bunch of different degrees. But in the end of the day, the degree is there to serve you, not the other way around. Getting the degree for itself doesn't mean anything. If you don't put your life into what you're doing, like music education, a very amazing degree to have, a very major, major, major profession, because you help inspire so many young musicians. And whether they become musicians or teachers or anything, it doesn't even matter, because you help that person develop a sense of self, a sense of structure to their knowledge. You gave them discipline. And so no matter what you're teaching, you are teaching them extremely important skills. Yeah, music is the plan. There was a choir teacher from outside of my college. There was a choir teacher who was talking about this and how parents don't understand. Parents won't understand. And he literally said, I'm quoting him. I forgot his name. But I'm quoting him. And he said, what's your plan B? What's your backup plan? Music is the plan. And you can't go into something thinking that, oh, it's going to fail, I should have a backup. And yeah, obviously you should have like some things like in line with your life. But at the same time, if you're young, especially, I'm 34 and I still have plenty of time. Okay, I don't want to, just blindly quote Gary Vaynerchuk, but Gary Vaynerchuk, constantly says you could literally waste if you're in your 20s, especially, you could literally waste the entire, like the next 30 years of your life and still have time. Okay, so you will not run out of time. The only thing that'll run out is your health, and you'll die eventually. Like, you have plenty of time. But the thing is I personally, like, I'm autistic. I can't have a normal job unless there's certain accommodations. And unfortunately, music education is one of those things where, first of all, I have to be able to finish the degree, which I didn't even finish my performance, like AA, like my AA degrees, my associate's degrees in music performance and jazz studies. I was very close, but then I burned out and I had to drop out. And then I found out I was autistic when I started transitioning and going to therapy, because I had to do gender affirming care, and obviously I went to therapy because that's required. But obviously I do want to improve my life and overcome my challenges. And so going to therapy has been extremely helpful. But then I got a diagnosis, and then I got on SSI. So now I get monthly payments. But it's not a living. It's not at all. And I'm still struggling to try to get housing, but that's something different entirely. But I've gotten down to my roots. I'm not just a musician. I mean, I've had like probably like 25 years of music experience. But I'm not just a musician. I'm a performer, because I've always performed. In being autistic, that's kind of part of it. If believe it or not, like, being autistic is part of it, because in order to survive growing up, I wasn't diagnosed. I didn't have support. I didn't have the kind of support I needed growing up. I had to learn on my own. And I developed a lot of habits I'm still trying to recover from. I was able to I had to learn how to perform a certain way around people, or else I would get punished. And so that's really hurt me psychologically, but it's helped me in other ways. It's helped me be a better performer, with music or otherwise. And I still have this bad habit of I'm trying to impress the teachers. I don't know if that makes sense. But when I was a kid, I would get praised by the teachers anytime like I behaved, or anytime like I did well on a math test or something like that. So I got really good at math, and I got really good at English and science. Like I got good at everything, like reading comprehension. That's something that I knew that I needed to do because the teachers wanted me to do it. I was raised from a very young age to try to please other people. And so I learned that in order to survive. And to this day, I still feel like I'm trying to like say, hey, look. Like, like I watch a lot of Devin Nash to try to improve as a YouTuber and content creator. And I almost feel like subconsciously, I'm not trying to do things for myself. I'm trying to do things so that I can appease him, which obviously he doesn't care. He's trying to put out his, I mean, I think he does care, but not about me specifically. Possibly, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Uh, but like I feel like when I watch his videos, like on Patreon and stuff like that, sometimes I subconsciously feel like, did I do it okay? Did I do it right? Did I do it right, Mr. Nash? Did I do it? Like, because when I grew up, as a child, like teachers would have all these expectations of me, and I was like saying like, oh, I did good on the math test. Do I get like did I please you? Did I please you? And it's like it's kind of, this isn't normal. This isn't like, not, this isn't like unheard of. This is pretty common among people, not just autistic people, but I feel like it really was a matter of survival for me. And I've been trying to unlearn a lot of these things the past couple of years in therapy. Um, and so I'm starting to try to do things for myself. And I'm actually still like having a lot of trouble with it. So now I'm starting to do this YouTube series. Now I'm actually like putting a lot more focus into my content. Because a lot of the time I'll just start my stream and I kind of have like a few key points of stuff I want to talk about or stuff I want to do. But I need like a focus in order to make this YouTube channel. And obviously I'm probably going to have to redo this YouTube video, but I'm at least practicing it. Like I'm like trying to do it to completion, and then I can redo it later off stream. I don't know. But the thing is like if you go into something like music in college, and you have in your mind that, oh, well, this is probably going to fail. I better have a backup plan. Maybe I should get an accounting degree. It's like, I think everybody should understand, take an accounting class or two. I need to take an accounting class because I think, especially in today's economy, where we have a gig economy, where most people are self-employed nowadays. I think more and more people, at least more and more, not most people, I think more and more people are becoming self-employed, especially if you're a YouTuber or any kind of content creator. Um, I do feel like it's very important to understand accounting. It's something that I need to do. I'm not really focusing on that just yet. I have a whole team of, people helping me. And I'm learning some basic life skills. Actually, I have to learn some basic life skills like brushing my teeth, laundry, doing the dishes, like doing basic chores. Like, because my whole life, I've never really been able to consistently do these things. Exercise is important too. And also, like, that's kind of the reason why I started streaming in the first place, is because it's really hard for me to keep showing up to do an activity on a daily basis. Like, I was doing it in college with music, but even that burned me out. Even though I've been a musician for like my whole life, and I'm 34. So like I went to college in 2015. I guess that was like, how old was I? So that was 7 years ago. So I was like 27. Okay, like I was a musician basically for like 20 years at that point. I was in choir, I was playing recorder, and then I played trumpet in fourth grade and fifth grade. Sixth grade, I learned percussion. Hey, thank you for the raid with 10 viewers. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So I am working on recording a YouTube video right now for a new YouTube series. If you want to check it out, I've done the intro already, and it's a video on music theory. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I am Rebecca Lauren. Nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy your stay. Today I'm doing a lot more focus on doing a YouTube video and doing a specific activity. So what I'm going to be doing today is I am kind of finishing up this draft for a YouTube video. And then we're going to get into Super Mario 64 transcription, and we're going to do the slide song, the one where you're going down the slide. It's a really fun song. It should be an interesting transcription. Hopefully I don't rage quit. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rebecca Lauren. I am transgender, so please don't be bigoted. But, in the end of the day, I think that I should, hopefully one day, I shouldn't have to explain that to people. That's kind of my goal for putting myself on the internet. It's like a long-term goal, okay? Like, I'm trying to be a part of the change. Because I literally am a woman, okay? I just happen to have a trans feminine body type. And I have a very specific medical history that I shouldn't have to explain to people. And I think that nowadays, it's becoming more and more, normalized because people are starting to understand reality. But yeah, anyway, I feel sometimes I feel a little nervous when somebody raids me. I think it's pretty normal. Uh, but in the end of the day, I do have some work to do, so I hope you enjoy the stay. And I'm gonna try not to be too boring. I do like reading chat and answering chat. So make sure that don't feel shy. Okay, I really like interacting with my chat. From the Immortal community. Yeah, I think I remember seeing you there. Don't worry, I'm going to get back to Immortal soon, but this is kind of what I was talking about. It's really hard for me to commit to things, especially when other people are involved. And right now, Immortal is kind of lower. It's in the alpha stage, and so I can't really just click on play. I have to like schedule with somebody. So maybe one day, hopefully we can collaborate. Make sure to just give me a DM on the Discord. I would love to collab and play some Diablo Immortal. I mean, not Diablo Immortal. Some Immortal Gates of Pyre. But it would have to be scheduled. Like right now, obviously, I'm doing something else. And also like I really like doing things with focus and intention. That's kind of my thing. But I hope you enjoy the stay. I'm basically just doing some music theory and transcription, which is where I listen to a song, and I basically where I listen to a song and I write down the notes. It's really kind of simple and straightforward, and it's really important for me to do. I try to avoid looking at chat while I'm actively doing it. Right now, I'm just having some breakfast. I'm probably gonna make another cup of coffee. My last cup of coffee. I have like a maximum of 2 cups of coffee a day, usually, is what I try. Yeah, I try not to sweat things. It's literally an alpha stage. There's so much time left to help the community. I really do want to be, I don't want to just be a leech, though. I don't want to just have the alpha key and not, like, contribute. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And there's some other people like Ty Yeager. That guy has an amazing voice. Oh, my God. But I feel like, it's really hard for me to commit to things. And I'm trying really hard. I'm not making excuses. I know sometimes people might think I'm making excuses. I really am trying. And I think it's just, I don't think some people truly understand. I am very capable of things, and people know this. And my whole life, historically, people have lectured me a lot. Because, I wasn't diagnosed as, autistic until I was 31. And so most of my life, people would say, oh, you're so smart and you're so capable. I've seen you do it before. But the way autism works is that I might be able to perform, but at what cost? Cost to my mental health and my sanity. I put myself through so much stress that I can't even function. And then most of the time, people in my life, especially family members, would just punish me for that. They're like, oh, you're just lazy. And there's a lot of autistic people out there who have a similar experience. of family members not understanding, of people in their life just like assuming they're lazy. It's like, yeah, I know I'm very capable of doing things. In fact, in some things, I'm more capable than most people. But the problem is like there's this key factor where I have to be able to show up on time and consistently, and also be able to work with people. It gets to the point where it feels like there's a knife in my back and somebody's twisting it, and I end up having a meltdown in some cases. It's been coming less and less through therapy, but yeah, it's really difficult for me to like, especially the past couple of years, since I've been working on my mental health, and because I've been medically transitioning, and because I've just been like so burned out from life that I'm just trying to recreate myself. I'm trying to pull up all the pieces that were broken, and I'm just trying to like put my life together for the first time, because I never had my life together to begin with. It was always broken. Like I was born broken, basically, and people made me broken. They put a label on me and said, you're broken, and we're going to do everything possible to try to fix you. But fixing me made me more broken, because they thought they were fixing me, because they wanted me to behave in the way that they were accustomed to. They said, oh, you're not behaving like a normal person. We want you to change. And I can't really change. But what I can do is I can, learn and try to live a good life. Yeah, I have a second puberty. It's pretty awesome. It's also really kind of fucked up, and so, it's really rough. But it's awesome because I'm kind of like, I'm at the 3-year point pretty much. Like in 2 months, in like 2 months, it'll be my 3-month point. I mean, 3-year point. Yeah, it's been several years, and I can't really see an end in sight, but after I have my facial surgery scheduled for November, and now that there's all this technical details with my approval letters, there was an issue with one of my approval letters, like not, for some reason they didn't have it, but I kept fighting and kept like, forwarding the messages to my medical team, and now they're going to contact me to actually schedule my bottom surgery, which is the most important one for me. I've been waiting since I was 18, and I'm 34. Like I'm ready, okay, but it's going to be at least another year. I really hope it's not longer. He said 2 years, and that was back in February. And he said it's most likely going to be sooner than that. But I don't know. I really hope it's not longer than that, honestly. I've known I've needed vaginoplasty since I was 18. And a lot of my trouble through my early 20s was because I was scared to even start hormones. I should have. Oh my God. Honestly, I can't go back in time, and I am who I am, and I can only move forward. That's why I'm naming this video series, it's horizontal theory, because in music, you don't go backwards. I mean, you might go backwards, but it's still forward, if that makes any sense. For example, like you can put repeats, and like you can put repeats and like first and second endings, and you go back to the repeat. And you could put like da capo, which goes back to the sign. Oops, that's a coda. I shouldn't have drawn a coda. I just write it down. I don't know. Yeah, because you'll say DC Alcoda usually, but you know, yeah, it's been pretty rough. It's been really rough, but I'm on my way to the end of it. After these surgeries, it's gonna be over for the most part. Like obviously, my life still keeps going regardless of where I am in the journey, but I don't know. I'm trying to get back to work soon. I get distracted really easily with other topics. I know it makes me a more engaging streamer, but engagement doesn't mean it's good. I mean, it doesn't mean it's good video, because I'm trying to record some stuff And I'm also, this is more of an education stream. This is more of a work stream. Like I'm working. Like today I'm working on music. I'm not really doing an entertainment stream today. And honestly, I probably won't do an entertainment stream for a very long time. I don't have the kind of audience to really do entertainment streams. But I can record YouTube videos, which might be entertaining, and I can work, which might be entertaining or educational. So, I mean, I don't want to like discount anything. There's so many things out there. And honestly, I don't know. I have so much time that it's like, I don't really need to like apologize or explain myself. I don't know why I do that so much. I feel like I need to. Like, I feel like I need to explain myself. That's really something I really want to change. And I am getting the habit of minimizing chat so I can focus on what I'm doing. And then looking at chat periodically, you know. And just click and look, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna get back. I think I kind of forgot where I was here. I was explaining time signatures. But yeah, if you're still here, thank you for the raid. I'm gonna get back to my stream. But please keep reminding me and bugging me about Immortal Gates of Pyre. I do want to actually. It really helps when people remind me of things. So keep bugging me. DM me on Discord about potential collabs or anything like that. Oh yeah, and you're the one who got me the key. So I feel bad. I know I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad that I haven't even like worked on the game because I want to help the alpha. I want to help the developers by playing and testing the game using my unique playstyle. Because I play RTSs in my own way, hopefully in a good way. But there's a lot of stuff to do, and I want to be a part of it. I don't want to just wait until the beta release or whatever. I want to actually like work on the game, like by testing it. And honestly, like I don't know, I have plenty of time. It's not really about that. Obviously, it's not like a job. I can literally do what I want. But I feel like I've been letting down the community, and I really don't like that. I should stop beating myself up about it. But Bizbug. Yeah, I should stop beating myself up about it, but at the same time, it's something that's really important to me. It's an important goal for my life because one of the hardest things I have doing is being like this is why I don't take commissions for anything. Because I feel like I would let people down. This is why I don't do Fiverr. Because I would let people down. Because people want something done like in a certain time frame. And I can't deliver. And I know I can't deliver. Because what happens is I get distracted. And then sometimes I have entire days or even weeks where I can't even show up to do the work. And I try. I really do try. Even when I'm tilted, I try to do it anyway. But it really doesn't work out very well. And I don't know. Right now, I'm not really trying to make money, so I really don't have that kind of pressure right now. I have money coming in, and also I can't make too much money anyway. Because if I did, I would lose my health insurance, and I can't do that. We can't have that. These, you know, even if somebody said, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million, but you have to skip your vaginoplasty and wait longer, I would say no. And I know, I mean, it's obviously that it's not even tempting. I mean, I would be lying if I said it wasn't a little teeny tiny tempting, but it's also like in the same sense that it's tempting to go swim across the ocean, right? That's something that people might think about, but honestly, I would rather have my vaginoplasty than $1 million. Honestly, I don't think $1 million would just land on my lap anyway. But if I had the choice between $1 million or getting my vaginoplasty as soon as possible, rather than waiting another 2 or 3 or 4 years, like, I have waited long enough. Okay, there's nothing in my life more important than this. My vaginoplasty is my $1 million. Like if somebody said, oh, you know, we're going to give you a job opportunity, but it's on the same day as your surgery, I would like, no, because this is an extremely difficult surgery to get. Just getting on the wait list took me like 2 years of intense work with my therapists. And then getting on the wait list, it's like another like 1.5 to 2 years. And now I'm going to be able to schedule it. They're going to contact me within like 10 business days. Today's the weekend, so I have the whole weekend to do whatever I want. I don't have to stress. I'm trying to compartmentalize the stress and remember that certain times I don't have to stress about stuff. The weekends, they're the fucking weekend. Okay? I'm allowed to relax. Yeah, I can always use look for game, and yeah, I need to ping someone. That's something I need to do next time I play, and I'm gonna try to do it. I can schedule it right now. Obviously, talk to me on Discord. You know, privately. If you know, it really helps when I have accountability. But what was I saying? I really want to work with people. I'm not I don't like being isolated. I'm actually a very extroverted. I'm a larger than life person. That's like I've been a performer my whole, like I want people to look at me. I want people to hear what I have to say. I want to interact with them. I don't want to just be like, here, look at me, look at me. I want to be involved with people. I want to work together with people. But the problem is that I'm not really good enough at that. Every single time I've worked people, there's been nothing but trouble. I mean, I don't want to say that. I've worked really well with people before, but it's really hard to maintain. So either I fail at it miserably, or I do it really well at the cost of my mental health. So that's usually what happens, and I'm getting better at it, but it's something that's like, it's true. I basically, I have agoraphobia from like so many bad social situations and stuff. Putting myself into situations that trigger PTSD. That's what agoraphobia is. Like usually it's like large crowds or stuff like that. You know, so people will just simplify it to say like, oh, it's a fear of going outside. It's more than that. Because I have PTSD from like a lifetime of like abusive people, you know, socially and in my family and teachers and like, you know, like working in the workplace. But like at work, you know, you have to show up at a certain time, and they say like, hey, like, you know, for the first 2 hours, you're going to be making burgers, and then you need to clean the bathrooms, and then you need to do the, and it's like, well, like I like have enough trouble getting out of bed to get to work. And then once I'm at work, usually it's not a problem, but then sometimes it's a huge problem. And you know, either I can do it really well at the cost of my mental health, or I just can't do it all and I have to call out sick. Like I just literally can't get out of bed, and then I lose my job. And this happens again and again and again in my life. And so that's why I got into content creation to begin with, because I can manage my own time. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out too well, at least at the moment, for a career. But I don't know. I'm gonna work on it, and hopefully I can make some good YouTube content. And now that I have like a really narrow focus on something that I'm extremely skilled at, but I do need to learn the skill of teaching, because I've never really like learned how to be a teacher for music. I've always just learned it. And so like kind of breaking this down, I'm going to get back to this in a second. And of course, fueling myself with coffee. Really important. I'm also trying to get used to, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm trying to get used to, going to look at a movie. Well, thank you for stopping by, Bugle Boy. You can always, oh yeah, music. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get back to working on this. Because I do want to, like, kind of, figure out, like, my workflow for this next YouTube video. And obviously, I have free reign on this project. So it's like, I really don't have, like, a timeline. I really have, like, the freedom to do this, like, in my own pace. So I need to stop, like, feeling like I'm on the clock. That's an important thing I need to do. I need to stop feeling like I'm on the clock. Because I end up freezing up. Like, literally, like, the more time pressure I have, the worse I do. I know a lot of people, like, innovate through pressure. That doesn't work for me. If I have less pressure, I actually do more. Because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have to do more. That's what happens. It's like an emotional thing. So here we have, okay, let me make a marker. Okay. 1 hour and a half. That's not too bad, but yeah. So here, I explained the 3/4, it's 3 beats per measure, but the quarter note gets the beat. So what do we do if we have a time signature such as 6/8? What does that mean? Well, if we remember all the notes, we have a whole note, a half note, a quarter note, an eighth note, and a 16th note. And so if in 4/4, if the quarter note gets the beat, then that's 1 beat. This is 2 beats, and this is 4 beats. This is 1/2 of a beat, and this is 1/4 of a beat. Now, if we make 6/8, suddenly the 8th note gets the beat. So we shift it over. Suddenly the 8th note gets the beat. So now and 32nd. That's why I usually don't use more than 16th. There's just too many freaking tails. And that's called a breve. A breve is twice the amount of a whole note. It's a whole note with basically an absolute value around it. Yeah. So now each note has a longer length than it normally would. So now a 16th note is half a beat, and a quarter note and an eighth note is now a single beat. So in 6/8, the eighth note gets the beat. So that means you have 8 notes per measure of 8 16th notes. And usually you divide them into 3. And this is what's called a 3-feel. I mean, this is what's called a 2-feel, interestingly enough. So that means that you have 2 groups of 3. Da 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 da. da 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 da. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Okay. Da 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 da. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and. So 6/8 we find. So we find that 6/8 is most commonly used in a similar way as 2/4. The difference is that you're dividing the beats in by eighth notes instead of quarter notes, and it allows different combinations. So you can have a 2 feel. But what happens if you divide up each measure, like if you divide up the notes in groups of 2? 2, 4, 6, because in 6/8 we have 6 beats. And if the eighth note gets the beat, that means that we have 6 eighth notes per measure. So this is what's called a 3 feel, even though it's a little bit counterintuitive. By the way, the only numbers in music are 2 and 3, and combinations of those. Because you can have 4 is 2 plus 2. You can have 6, which is 3 plus 3. Or you can have 5, which is 2 plus 3. And everything's a combination of just 2 and 3. So 3 feel is more like da, 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 and we're subdividing 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have like the, when 3 feel, in 3 feel, it kind of feels more like da 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 da. In a 2 feel, it's more da 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 da. It's just that, it's the same amount of beats, but it's the way that you divide it colloquially. Like in practice, when you're thinking about music, most people will say it's either a 2 feel or a 3 feel. I think this is probably a better metronome, just easier. Can I change? Oh, if I register. Well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Oh, God, it's loud. Just a second. Oh. Okay. Dun 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 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. That's if you're doing sextuplets or triplet or versus triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think the difference is really when you see these things, in written music, what it implies most of the time, what they imply is that you're putting an accent at the beginning of each triplet or each tuplet. So it's basically implying where you put the accent. It doesn't change the number of beats. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that, you know, in a two feel, you're putting the emphasis, the accent on the 1 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In a three feel, you're putting on the accent on 1, 3, and 6. Oh wait, on 1, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the difference between two feel and three feel. But remember, it's still 6 beats per measure. And the eighth note gets the beat. That's key to remember. No matter what time signature you're using, the top number tells you how many beats per measure, and the bottom number tells you which note gets the beat. So, now we understand that you literally can have 9,999 1 as a time signature. And it would take too long to draw out, but that would mean that you have a single measure would have 9,999 whole notes because 1 is a whole. Now you could have, you know, basically dot, 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 all the way to 9,999. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 9,999. You could also have time signatures. Theoretically, you could have 4 1/2, and I mean, oh no, 4 2, yeah, 4 1/2, 4.5, 0.5, which would mean that you have 4 breves. I'm just making this up now. I don't think anyone uses this. I don't think it even exists. But that means you'd have 4 breves per measure. If you use 0.5 as your denominator. And that would be a single measure. You can theoretically do, as long as you're using the denominator as, it can either be a 1, a 2, a 4, an 8, a 16, 32, 64, 128, etc. Basically doubles each time because you have, this is a quarter note, this is a half note, I mean, this is a whole note, this is a half note, this is a quarter note, this is an eighth note, a 16th note, a 32nd note, 64th note, and a 128th note, which it starts running out of spots on the page the further you go. uh, it's the reason why we pretty much never use these. Almost never use these. I would recommend it when writing your music, never using these, and instead either changing your time signature, a combination of either changing your time signature or increasing the tempo. So quarter note can equal 60. If you want to double it, you could just do quarter note equals 120. And now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you make your quarter note equal to 120 beats per minute, oops. Then now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a. See, that's with 60, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. With 120, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's only in 4/4. Now, if you do half note equals 60, now you have, 1, 2, 3, 4. But only if it's in, only if the time signature has a 2 on the bottom. If it has a 4 on the bottom and you say half note equals 60, then that means it's basically the same as quarter note equals 120. One, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there's different ways of subdividing. So, and we're gonna make and there will be a video explaining subdividing. But as a introduction to subdividing, basically, if you have a piece of music that like goes something like this. With with 2 quarter notes, a dotted quarter note, and an eighth note, you basically subdivide these. And you can make it to, instead of writing it out like this, you can write it out as like this. 1 and tied together. 2 and tied together. 3 and tied together. 3 and 4. Yeah, 3 and 4. So it ties into beat 4. 3 and 4. And. Or you can write it better this way. And so this is the beat. Okay, so this is beat 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And so if you tie these notes together, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, and so it's, if I want to play this on the piano, if you can hear me. So 1, 1, 1, 3, 1. Let me make that clearer that it's a C and not a D. Don't worry about the note names just yet. We're not even getting to the note names just yet. So be on the lookout for the future video explaining the notes on the staff and the clefs, which is what these are called. And this is specifically a treble clef. Or a G clef. Because it shows you on the circle, if we look at it, if we look on the staff, this is middle C, and this is a G. And then this is also a G. So if we draw it, it basically touches all the notes. You know, you're circling the notes basically. It shows C, shows G, and it shows G. So it's a G clef. And C is a fifth up from G, a major fifth, well, perfect fifth. No, it also shows you where C is. So it shows you where C and middle C and G and C above the staff, C on the staff, and G above the staff. So that's why we call it a G clef. And we will get more into clefs too, but there's also a bass clef or an F clef, because the two dots here show you where F is. And then we get into other clefs that, you know, maybe violists will know. It's called tenor clef. If I can remember what it even looks like. And that shows you where C is. I don't think that's what it looks like. Jeez. So we just draw a viola with a bow on it. I don't know if that's a viola. we draw a viola as a clef, and that's the tenor clef, or that's the C clef, is you just draw a viola. Okay. Yeah. So subdividing, which we'll go over in another video, is a good way to learn music, because you're basically dividing each note into you're subdividing into multiple parts. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So C, okay, I mean A. One. Okay, let's just start the metronome. 3 and 4 and. Yeah, so it's on the you know, because you have this dotted quarter note, it equals to 3 eighth notes when your beat is determined by 4, a quarter note. When your quarter note gets the beat, a dotted quarter note is a quarter note plus half value of a quarter note. And no matter which note you have, whether it's, if you have a dotted whole note, then that equals a whole note plus plus a half note, because it's a 1 plus a 1/2. Or a whole and a half. Likewise, if you have a dotted half note, that's a half note plus a quarter note. So no matter what note you have, a dot just adds a half of it, and you could add another half. If you do a double dotted a double dotted whole note, well, that is a whole note plus a half note plus a quarter note, and you just have each one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I hope you So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a little bit of fun making it. I hope that you understand that time signatures aren't this mysterious thing, that all you have to do is just understand note values. And if you can look at the practice sheets that I provided in the description below, you can even practice it on your own. If you like these kind of videos, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see as soon as a new video is uploaded, hit that bell icon. Okay, we finished the YouTube section. I'm going to put a marker. We finished the YouTube segment. Now we could get to work on... Oops. Now we can get to work on the transcription. It's been 2 hours that it took me to make that YouTube segment. Jeez. I still really like my intro. Like, I really like my intro. I got it from a clip. What's up, you? I really like that intro. Like, yeah, and so I got that from a clip of mine. Oh, not that one. I gotta be careful with this. Because I edit other types of videos too. Yeah, I really like that little etude that I made. It's like what, that's G, I believe. Yeah. But no, it's in D. No, G minor. Yeah, it's in G minor. Oh, no, is it? What's the relative minor of D? Oh, it's in B minor. Okay. No, it's in D Dorian. It's in B Dorian. No, yeah, no, B minor. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the important stuff. Well, this is also, the YouTube stuff is obviously really important, but it's also really important for my music production, to get back to work on my transcription, because it's a very important skill to have. Okay, we're gonna do slider. I think it's in A major. Yeah, I think it's in A major. What? Yeah. You gotta do it in A, B, A, B, A, D. A, 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 B, A, D. A, B, A, D. E, 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 B, E, E, D, B. D, D, E, B, E, B, E, D, B, A, 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 B, A, E, A, B, A, B, D, A, T, that's a high note. That's high note. That's a high note. Jesus. Sheesh. 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 Yeah, bye, Victor. Sheesh. Sheesh. You'll never be a member of my chat, Victor. How about that? How about that? Cash me outside. How about that? Yeah, you'll never be a member of my chat, Victor. Sorry. I know that you think that you're meaningful, but you're not, Victor. Add to block list. Yeah, well, I am the mod. I am the one who knocks. Yeah, thank you for stopping by, Bertwort. Sorry, I'm like kind of like focused on my own stuff, so I'm kind of minimizing chat, and I do check back periodically, okay? So I do see you, and I do care about you. Your feelings matter to me. You, my employee. You, as an employee of Rebecca Lorne Industries, are very meaningful to the company. And we care about you and the rest of our employees. uh. Yeah. Oh, my air conditioning, like, I need to, like, reset the breaker. I'll be right back. But yeah, we're just getting started on the transcription. The first part of my stream I was filming for the YouTube, my music theory series on YouTube. Command theory in the chat. Oh, yeah. It's a channel I just started. It's going to be completely dedicated to my music adventures. And I am doing a series on music theory. Hopefully, hopefully I can edit together the footage from today because it was all over the place, unfortunately. But that's the magic of editing. It's not going to be like an ideal video, but maybe it will be. I don't know. It's educational. My goal is to present the information so that people can learn. Not so that it can be all polished and nice, okay? You can make something look polished and nice, and it can convey absolutely nothing. You can make something look beautiful. Like, you could have this, like, amazing graphics and you know, you could have, like, amazing B-roll and all this, like, you know, show somebody walking into the distance. And it's all like, you know, like it's all like, you know, you can put music over it that, like, you know, stir the emotions. But you can convey absolutely no educational content with that. Or you could just open up a frickin' scratch pad and write some notes on a page, and somebody might actually learn something. I'm going to divide this in half. We're only going to have 2 measures per line, per score page. Oh, oops. Nice. And there's a reason why I'm doing everything. There's a reason why I'm doing everything manually instead of copy pasting. It's really important to do things by repetition. It develops really strong work habits. We're not going into super advanced. I mean, we will go into stuff like that later on. This is an absolute beginner series, and it's designed for musicians and not people who just want to know really esoteric theory. Nothing wrong with esoteric theory. I love esoteric theory, like the shepherd's tone, and stuff like that. But it's not really meaningful for a musician, particularly not useful for a beginner musician. Like I'm trying to teach people functional music theory. Music theory that actually, for the working musician. Okay, now we're fueled on 2 cups of coffee, so so this isn't A major. This is 3 sharps. Yeah, we're gonna talk about inversions at some point. Like I said, that's like really later on. Like that's kind of intermediate. Like when we get to like inversions, like chord inversions, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of later on in the series. Like right now, I want to focus on a beginner series just to get people able to understand music as a concept, and the stuff like in chord inversions, drop 2 voicing. It's more of like an intermediate to like advanced stage. Absolutely like esoteric stage. I'm not even really there yet. I don't think anybody really needs to be there. I really think once you get to the really esoteric stuff, that's like if you've already like studied everything so much and you're trying to get like, you're trying to squeeze out as much knowledge as possible. Like that's way later on. Most musicians never really need to go past like basic college theory. Honestly, like you never really need to get into like, I mean, understanding negative harmony and stuff like that, it's not super advanced, really. But that is another tool in your toolbox. You want as many tools in your toolbox as possible. But there's a lot, it's like trying to get windshield wipers and it's like studying negative harmony right now. If especially for a beginner, it doesn't really matter if they understand negative harmony or like chordal voicings or chord inversions or like like basic diatonic scales. Like it doesn't matter if they don't understand what a time signature is or what's a quarter note. They need to understand basic stuff first. So I'm going to do a really basic stuff, and it's going to be the foundation that's going to set the tone for the rest of the series. Yeah, so right now I'm just like, by the way, this is like really good music to go with like drawing the staff. now I'm just kind of, oops. Right now I'm just kind of, going through the process of making the sheet itself. For a while. I mean, I just want to get like a bunch of measures set out first. And plus, it's good to like get your mindset. Like just doing the repetitive work, it actually kind of gets your mind. Plus, I'm listening to the music, getting it in my ear. There's a whole bunch of stuff you gotta do, you know. And I like the whole process of it is what's important. And you know, I'm gonna get a bunch ready first, and then obviously as I go, I just add them as, you know, ad hoc. You know, add them as I go. My keyboard in a more useful spot. Oh, I think I can just keep that up here. God damn it. Jeez. These get all stuck together. Yeah, I can even just keep my my MIDI keyboard up here a little wider. Since I'm not really in performance mode, you know. Since I'm not in performance mode, I'm just using it to get notes randomly. Not really, oof. I got my workflow all discombobulated. Since yeah, when I'm in like transcription, when I'm like in transcription mode or arranging mode, or you know, making video theory mode, making theory video mode, I don't really need to have like my keyboard in performance mode. Plus, I'm using like my I have a full 88 key keyboard on the way. Should be here on Wednesday, possibly sooner. depending on how they deliver it. Oh yeah, and I should be writing the sharps. Oh god. This is an A major. Yeah, and also, interestingly enough, like the cool part about streaming is that people might show up while I'm streaming and ask questions about something, and then I could put that into my videos, like, you know, ad hoc. Plus, you know, this is just a good activity to, like, it's kind of relaxing. You know, and then also this is good to do on stream because, you know, it's like I have so much time and I'm just like taking my time to just gather myself. And, you know, people might come in and it might make them curious about music theory. You never know. I don't really expect people to come in, but, you know, it has been proven historically as I've been streaming that people do kind of trickle in. And you know, I'm gonna like just let the soundtrack play, just so I can hear the other songs. I don't want to get one song stuck in my head too much. You kind of need some space, so I'm just gonna let the playlist play. In fact, let's just play the whole playlist.
It's me, Mario!
trying to use up like all the freaking space. Jeez. Ah. Okie dokie. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Wait, did I get the note wrong on that? Bum, 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 bum. Holy shit, I think I got the note wrong. The rote nong. Oh, never mind. I got it right. Okay. Okay, and yeah, we can just add more as we need. I think 12 measures is a good starting point. Should probably put the okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick break. Just listen to the music. You know, get some other songs in my head before I go back to that one. I mean, I guess I can just keep making. I mean, obviously, I can always be making more. Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. That one has 2 parts to transcribe. What is this, a shepherd tone? And this one is like my favorite from the whole soundtrack. I actually thought when I first heard this, I never actually played all of Super Mario 64. I played a few levels, and then I always give up. Maybe we'll actually play it after I finish this whole arrangement project. Transcribe everything and then arrange everything for a remix, and play with real instruments. Like, that's the whole goal for each of these. Okay. See, I've never actually gotten to this level. This is one of the levels that, like, I never got to. Yeah, and obviously some people, they would see what I'm doing and they're like, why don't you just copy paste? Why don't you just copy paste? Why don't you just copy paste? And honestly, like, that defeats the whole purpose of this activity. Any kind of music activity, actually. Just because it's faster or easier doesn't always mean it's better. Because the whole purpose of transcribing or even just like writing things out by hand is that you really like focus in on what you're doing. Like right now I'm doing multiple things. Like I'm listening to the music, the whole soundtrack, so that I understand kind of like the tendencies of the soundtrack. Because if you listen to a whole soundtrack, you can kind of hear what the themes are. You kind of like, there's a lot of different motifs that may or may not repeat themselves across the soundtrack. And also, I don't know, it's just like getting stuff in your ear. And also just really kind of like associating yourself with, like, kind of just like really putting yourself into the whole process. And a lot of people might not understand that. They get into college and they're like, why do I have to do all this stuff? Why do I have to do... When I was in college, I had to do stuff by hand, and it really locked in a lot of concepts. Doing it by hand is so much better for learning, you know, music stuff, especially theory, and especially arrangement. Like doing arranging, like I learned most of this from my theory teachers. It's like in college is, you know, you really want to like get into you really got to kind of lock yourself into the whole process. And, you know, sometimes even just like, it's also kind of it's kind of therapeutic. It's almost like meditating. See, this is a different version of the slide. We're probably only going to do the first one. I don't know if I'm going to do all the variations of the slider. Oh yeah, this one I do. Because like it has a different B section. So we're gonna have to do this one we're gonna have to do the slider one a couple times. Or I might put it all in the same one. I might just do kind of like a mix between all of it. Oh, this one's in a different key. Okay, so we do have to do this one again because this one's in C major. The other one's in A major. So this one's in A major. This one's in C major. Oh no, this one's also in A major. Never mind. No, it's in B flat. Yeah, see this? Oh, maybe, okay. I think it's in G major. Yeah, it's like G major. Okay, yeah, it's like G major. Yeah, so this one is definitely going to be this one's going to be separate. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do this one later, you know, because it's in a different key, and it also has different, it has different variations. So it's like, it's very important to do this one again. I think it has this part. Yeah, and you know, it has a lot of, I think this one has like, I mean, these songs, this is the first time that I've had to modulate. Well, not like, you know, like, yeah, it has, I mean, it has a different, you know, that one has like a different chord structure. It kind of reminds me of Chrono Cross. Like the bar line seems to be like, yeah, it does add like a more personal touch when you don't just copy paste everything too. See, I want to give more side on the left, though, because like right over here, like for example, I need to give more. I need to give more space on the left because I'm using up part of the left. So don't really like want to split it directly in the middle. Because I want to leave space so I can write plenty of notes in case I need to. I guess it's where the stabilizer is, unless I accidentally move. If I go straight down from where the edge of this stabilizer thing says, like where this drop-down thing is. But if I move the page, obviously that changes. Just kind of running with the moment, you know? It's one of the things I'm trying to work out with my therapist and my mental health worker is trying to be more in the moment, and this is definitely good for that. I'm gonna have to write a percussion part for this because this is very like bongo, like kind of what are those? Yeah, this track is gonna have yeah, I'm gonna have to write those little bongo part and that steel drum part. I don't think that's steel drums. Yeah, I need to write the steel drum part. And I need to write the bongo part. But the bongo part I can just write like... When I do the bongos, I can just have them repeat. Yep. Like with the little percentage sign. So you can do like a little percentage sign. To like repeat what you did. So if you want to go like that. Like if you want to do... Like it would just be da 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 da. I don't know. You know, stuff to think about for later. You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? Oops, not save. This just reminds me of... I gotta be really careful with my... when I can't really show my YouTube I can't really show like because sometimes you know you never know what might show up during when you look at your YouTube front page because YouTube can sometimes show like nudity and stuff. um, if I can find the track, okay. What's this one called? Is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah, so it's like the same vibes I'm getting. Is it like the same exact key too? Yeah, dun 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 dun. Dun, no, it's not in the same key. Okay. And was I thinking of this one or a different one? Another game I never finished. I got pretty far. We'll probably do this one at some point. I mean, we're gonna do a lot of video game soundtracks. Here, I think this is the one. The government. Yeah, this one is base invasion. Not this one, but. Where is it? Yeah, base invasion. Oh God, I don't like using that part of my voice. I really don't like using that part of my voice. Oh God. But you know, it's there. Doesn't make me a man. You know, and in fact, you know, I think more men, you know, all these people who think that, like, you know, your penis makes you a man. First of all, it's transphobic because some women have penises, so it's kind of transphobic. Actually, it's pretty transphobic when you assume that your penis is what makes you a man, because it doesn't. Penis size doesn't, and also it's a double-edged sword, because obviously, you know, you could define yourself that. But I think a lot of men out there, they have like, you know, this whole penis envy thing. They think that like, oh, someone has a bigger penis that makes them more of a man. Or they think like, oh, well, you know, you let your wife talk to you, which that, you know, then you get into the realm of misogyny and sexism. You know, when you start saying things like, oh, you know, if you're the woman in a relationship, that makes you less of a man. Your wife emasculates you. That's kind of fucked up, because you're defining your masculinity by your relationship status, which is completely unrelated. And that's also pretty homophobic, because what about same-sex, you know, relationships? You know, like, you know, it's possible for people to take on different roles in a relationship. But I think, you know, like men tend to define themselves, defend their masculinity by things that have nothing to do with their masculinity. And it's really transphobic. First of all, it can be homophobic, like especially when it comes to like relationships and stuff, which has nothing to do with gender at all. And then it could also be very self-damaging, because it means that you're defining yourself by, like, you know, your body image. Like, oh, you know, you're not so muscular, that makes you less of a man. It's like, no, some men have a more like kind of like not very muscular build, because people have different body types, believe it or not. Some people, it's just part of your genetics, and it's perfectly fine. Now, when it comes to, like, you know, being trans, it's a bit different. You know, you can't just like get over it. But if you're not trans, I think you know, trying to learn these kind of things, I think you can learn a lot from trans people. I think cisgender people can learn a lot from trans people when it comes to like understanding like your body and how you relate it to your gender. Because cisgender people go through it a lot. And you'll notice that like cisgender people, it's usually cisgender men, but it's also cisgender women, have like a lot of toxic beliefs about their own body and like how it relates to their gender. But I'm here to tell you right now, your gender has nothing to do with the way you look. Now, how you express your gender, that's something else. Like, you know, I express my gender as very like more feminine. I want to, you know, I needed a more female body. I needed breasts, you know. But for some people, you know, for some cisgender women, they may not be trans, but they have like some body issue, you know, some body issues. So same with men, cisgender men. You know, the people that generally, like, it's kind of normal when it becomes like a persistent, very specific thing, you know, about your gender and how like you would be happier if you weren't the gender you were assigned at birth. That's dysphoria. Okay, that goes a step beyond it. But there is like a body dysmorphia that just is general to anybody, which I'm not exempt from either, being trans, but I'm getting my surgeries first before I start questioning like whether or not I have some body dysmorphia, because a lot of that's just dysphoria. It's when your body doesn't align with your identity. That's something completely different, but it's similar. It's like a step beyond what normal dysmorphia is, which is like you have parts of your body that you wish were different. That's kind of like that's like beginner entry, and then dysphoria is like full advanced. You know, like it's like really advanced. You know, when you're trans, like when you have dysphoria, and then you may end up transitioning, hopefully, if you need it. Which, if you have extreme dysphoria, most likely you probably need to transition in some way. Whether it's medical, or whether it's social, or even just internally. Like, if you understand your gender internally and you don't need anybody else to know, that's trans as well. That's not any more or less trans than someone like me who's going through hormones and surgeries. Okay, like those are just different ways of medical needs, and also expression, because gender expression is very dependent on body type sometimes, and there's a way to do it. I mean, obviously you can be toxic about it. Like, some people are like, they're not a man unless they're like the dominant part of a relationship, like Andrew Tate. I feel like he has some gender issues. I really do think people like Andrew Tate and Greek God X, I think they have some serious body issues that they're taking out on other people. Which is, it's one thing if they're taking it out on themselves, but when they start like taking it out on other people, particularly women, in order to prove their manhood to themselves, well, that's something else, and that becomes someone else. Then it's like, it's one thing if you're hurting yourself. I wish you didn't, but you're on your own. But when you start hurting me, well, now it's my problem. It has nothing to do with you. And so, like, people like that, like Andrew Tate, I think there's some kind of serious gender issues going on. Because they're defining their masculinity by how many muscles they have, by like how many girlfriends, how much they get laid. Like, it's like some things that are completely unrelated to their gender. And I think it's very harmful to society when men do that. And it's harmful when women do it too. There's a lot of harmful body image stuff going on with women as well. And as a woman, I know about that. And as a trans woman, I know very specific things as well. And just in general, people are different. People have different life experiences, and people also have different genetics. So if you're like, some people, it's not necessarily that people are fat. Some people are like, they'll go through so much torture to try to get a flat belly. But your genetics determine a lot of your body type. And you can be healthy, but be big. Okay? Like, there's a difference between being big and being overweight. If you're unhealthy, it's a big difference. Like, obesity is a thing. That's a different kind of problem. That's a health problem. And it doesn't mean you should shame people for having, obesity. It means you should be, like, supportive of their recovery. And sometimes people aren't willing to get recovery, but just like an alcoholic, like my dad, you can't force somebody to change. But you can be there for when they're ready. And also, you can also not enable it. So obviously, if you're like a partner of somebody and you're continually buying them, like, 30 pizzas a day or whatever, like, you're part of the problem. Like, you're enabling that. You're like, oh, but I'm supportive. It's like, no, you're not supporting. That's very damaging to their health. It's going to hurt them. And that's usually what happens with very, very, very obese people, is there's some kind of partner or family member that is just like enabling it. And it's actually, I would say it's more that person's fault than the individual, because at a certain point that person can't even, like, literally can't even continue to live that way unless they have somebody who's helping them live that way. It's not a lifestyle, it's a health problem. And I know, I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. People will give Asmongold shit about it. He could say it a little bit more nicer, but he doesn't care, You could call him an asshole, but nobody's saying is wrong. And, obviously he's being an asshole when he says stuff like that. But he doesn't care. And, he's allowed to be an asshole. Anybody is. And I think he's not as much an asshole as he thinks he is. I'm going to have to, like, I don't know about all these sound effects. I'm going to have to also transcribe all these little sound effect things. It's gonna be a little fun to do that. Those are kind of like really more fun projects of this, like, just short, like a few like one or two pages rather than like a whole thing. when I was in college, I would carry around a briefcase, and in it I would have all my music theory related stuff, my manuscript paper, pencils, pens, sharpener, a ruler, and a clipboard. And the clipboard was really important because I would do a lot of arrangement, or even just doing what I'm doing right now. I would do a lot of this just sitting in a chair in the music building. Oops. This is bringing back all these memories of working on music. So this is really important. Like doing stuff like this activates things in your brain, and it recalls information that you've already learned. And so it's like, this is really important for me to do, and I can just do this on stream and kind of hang out with you guys and stuff like that. And just kind of talk about stuff. Like that's something I can definitely do on stream. And I'm also kind of, I'm probably not gonna do. We can do okay. I'm kind of like, after we finish the whole soundtrack, which I think we're almost done. Yeah, we're kind of getting close. Once we finish this, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna actually like start working on a few bars. You know. Kind of procrastinating here, but it's good. I mean, it's functional because I'm getting more pages ready. It's helping me focus, which is a really important thing for me to do. I've been trying to live more in the moment. You know, my therapist's been helping me with that. And this is good practice for that. Like literally like just focusing on making these pages. Like it's very like soothing also. I need to do more self-soothing activities. Oof. Okay, and this is 4-4. I need to redo these. Jesus freaking Christ. Yeah, you really only need to put the time signature on the first one, and everything else is just until you change it. You know, don't really need to put it on every single page. On the score. This is the final. Oh, you know what that song? That ending. What does it remind me of? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. What's going on? What? Oh yeah, you know what this sounds like? Same composer. 164. 16. It's also Koji Kondo, right? Koji Kondo. I forgot to bring. Not that. Not that. Wait, what am I thinking of? Here he goes, Lost Woods. No. Why is this repeating so many freaking times? It just like repeats the entire soundtrack like multiple times. Why do people do that? You know what I really hate is when people make a YouTube video that says like 3 hours of music, but really it's only like 30 minutes, but it's repeated multiple times. I hate that shit. I'll just loop it if I want to hear it again. It's so ridiculous when people do that shit. Was it the Deku Tree? Huh. I swear, like... Was it this inside the Deku Tree? Yeah, it's not that one. There's like... I could have sworn. Was it... Oh, is it Forest Temple? Yeah, here it is. Forest Temple. It sounds exactly like... I mean, it's also Koji Kondo. This isn't what the song is. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm like fucks up. Okay, now listen. It's the same exact pattern, basically, but it's obviously different background. The little pan flute. They're the same exact thing, basically. Yeah, there's a lot of themes, especially among the same composers. For example, let's look at Chrono Trigger OST. Gotta go to YouTube. And then go to Chrono Cross OST, and then go to Xenogears OST, and you can find these like similar patterns that the same composer will do. Okay, now like compare this. Okay, now compare that to so this one has multiple time signatures. It's like three. It's like five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Dun dun dun. Okay. Dun 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 dun. And then sometimes it goes dun 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 dun. Yeah, this one has like a multiple like kind of compound stuff. So and then you compare that to okay. Very similar. And then I think Chrono Cross has one that's similar too. Yeah, I think it's here. So it's very different, but it's like same feel. Like yeah, so it's like you'll see stuff like that. There's also wait, Secret of the Forest. Oh, there's one here. Where is it? Okay, here. Yeah, very similar. There's one here that is. What's with this soundtrack order? It's like not even in order of like where it should be. What's with this playlist? Here we go. I think this one's better, probably. Yeah, this one's like the actual order. Jesus Christ. Here. Here we go. Yeah, there's like a lot of similarities. This one is a little different. And here we go. How was it? One scene. Yeah, Chrono Cross is probably the most unique out of all these three, but like Xenogears and like I don't know, there's obviously a lot of parallels because it's the same composer, but it's just like you'll notice that like the same composer will use a lot of the similar stuff. Your fingertips moving gently to my heart. The force of life goes on and on. The song remains like a haunting melody.